Well, I'm back to this. I was doing episode reviews originally, but main content blew up at the time and I lost track. But you picked for this for me to review over the rediscovered cartoon and TV show pilot. So here we go. Part 1 of the Battle of the Sanctuary Knights of the Zodiac. Honestly, I didn't know there were part 1 and part 2. I thought I actually covered part 1, but hey, here we are. Let's go. First, I have to say this season is a massive improvement over the first. They're sticking closer to the source material while also expanding on the characters. Basically, it walks the line of being something fresh without being filler, and it keeps the heart of the original intact for the most part. I say this leads to mixed results, but a bit more leaning towards positive. I'll start with the good. Unimportant characters became more proactive. They gave them something to do, gave them more dialogue and a bit more personality. Most notably, Milo, who was kind of a block of wood originally, but now has more character. He comes off as a hard ass who does his job, which fits of what we know about him originally. The negative side of that is it almost always feels like filler that adds nothing to the actual plot or natural progression to the story. Speaking of the story, there are of course changes from the original. They gave the Goat Saints a bit more agency, which makes sense, because at one point Iki calls Shaka an old man, which reminded me, oh right, they're like 40 here. Originally the Saints simply grew up in an evil sanctuary and followed orders. Here they're older and the Pope is giving a more reasonable outline for his actions. What's lost in that, however, is the original, the Saints gave reasons for still following them based on their personal ideals of justice. Like say, Shaka's ideals of justice was based pretty much on Buddhism. And while I have to judge when I see it through to the end, I can't help but worry that the story changes might overcomplicate a simple story. Now, this is Saint Seiya, so let's end it by talking about the fights and effects. While these small energy blast things that they use constantly is just still as unimpressive as ever, the particle effects, however, are pretty and tend to enhance the fights. Some fights were added or expanded with more hand-to-hand combat, even in the case of Shaka, which is kind of funny considering he's the meditative type. Yet he's throwing straight up hands here. There are some odd choices here and there, like Camus personally taking Hyoga to the sanctuary, then deciding he has no choice but to freeze him because he's in the sanctuary. Anyway, also, there being little reaction from Mu after seeing the dead body of his master was a bit strange. Overall though, I give part 1 of Battle of the Sanctuary a B-. There's something to enjoy here. It's flawed, but so is much of Saint Seiya. Anyway, give me your thoughts in the comments. Please remember to like, sub, and hit the bell. Later.